The City of Cape Town's Water and Sanitation Department says the water supply to large parts of the Cape Flats has been shut down. Mayoral Committee Member for Water and Sanitation, Zahid Badroodien, says the 72-hour water shutdown is necessary in order to do important maintenance to the water infrastructure on the Cape Flats network. Now, 28 areas are affected. Badroodien says that water tankers have been made available. SABC News reporter Vanessa Poonah has more for us.
Residents of various communities across Cape Town have started coming to various water points in the city of Cape Town. Of course, this as the city embarks on the replacement of water valves along its network. I'm joined now by the Mayoral Member for Water and Sanitation in the city of Cape Town, Zahid Badroodien. A very warm good day to you. Councillor, we've been to areas such as Pelican Park and Ottery this morning where we've spoken to residents, many of them in good spirits, saying that they've had communication, people coming with their buckets, filling the buckets, saying that they've also started filling up their bathtubs from as early as Saturday. So let us first talk about the actual work being carried out behind us, and then also the need then, of course, to shut down or switch off the water supply in these parts of Cape Town.
The city's undertaken a massive infrastructure investment program. On the one hand, we have a pipe replacement program to the value of about 860 million rand, which is underway across the city. But this particular project will see 7 valves being replaced along the Cape Flats network. We've already done 2 early last week, and we're now doing 5 remaining valves, which are quite wide in diameter, some 1 meter in diameter, which any normal-sized person would be able to crawl or walk through. This is an exciting opportunity for us, obviously, because this is proactive maintenance on a key water network across the city. But further importantly, that even though there'll be a temporary inconvenience these 3 days, at the end of it, we benefit from the fact that we'll have valves that are going to last about 100 years. And in addition to that, should there be any pipe bursts in the particular area, we now can, because the valves are new, shut down more locally and try and reduce the inconvenience to surrounding communities, and really only have the impacted community affected by any shutdown because of the investments that we're undertaking at the moment.
So we understand that quite a number of areas, I think it's mentioned 20 or just over 20 in all. So for example, it would be the southern part of the city, like I've mentioned, Ottery, Pelican Park, Muizenberg, etc. These communities will be affected, and you say it will be a three-day long outage.
We anticipate for it to be 3 days. The planning says 3 days, but our last operation in the Constantia-Wynberg area, we finished ahead of schedule by an entire day. So if everything goes according to plan, the weather stays as good as what it is at the moment, fingers crossed that the teams can work faster than anticipated, but that obviously depends on a number of factors. One of the major issues we're dealing with at the moment is the safety of our staff in these various locations. We're standing in a very isolated area, so needing to mobilize safety and security teams to support these colleagues is important to us and could potentially result in delays depending on those circumstances. But the weather seems to be playing, and we, fingers crossed, will finish on time, if not earlier.
So we're at the Prince George Drive site, Lavender Hill area. And like I've said earlier on, we've seen people coming to the water points. But of course, there have been some concerns, Councillor, with regards to the elderly, the infirm, that may not be able to walk to the water points, albeit quite close to where they're living. What provisions have been made for these residents?
So we have 11 water tankers, 1 per each ward, that is going to be impacted over the next 3 days. The ward councillors have helped to determine where these water tankers will be located. Obviously, they know their wards better than I as the MMC do. But in addition to that, we've also received donated bottled water from Peninsula Beverages, almost 5,000 litres of water that the councillors have already started to pick up and make deliveries to vulnerable facilities like old age homes, like ECDs. So should there be any residents who are in need of assistance, they're more than welcome to reach out to their councillors. But even before we started making those water donations is the fact that prior to that, 4 or 3 days prior to that, we've really put out a very strong, focused message to the impacted communities to say, please save as much water as you can. Use your clean JoJo's, use your clean baths, save it in closed containers so that you at least have enough water on the first day. At the moment, the queues at water tankers are quite short. No people really queuing, and that's great. It means that they've still got water in their homes. But for those individuals who are needing assistance, assistance separate to the water tankers in each ward, separate to the donated water, are encouraged to please reach out to their ward councillors who will be more than willing to assist with donations at whatever facility or home.
Councillor, a last question before I let you go. So, of course, this specific upgrade affects a certain section of Cape Town. Any further upgrades of this nature, valve replacements, scheduled for perhaps the rest of the year?
Absolutely. We communicate weekly on these upgrades. Just last week, we were upgrading certain components of our Steenbras water treatment plant, which would affect the Helderberg region of our city. In this week, we're replacing some pipes as well inside C. In Khayelitsha, we do ongoing pipe replacements in Ottery, in Athlone, in Lavender Hills as well recently. You name it, we're doing it. So I really want to discourage actually this message that we're only focused on the rich areas in our city. Our pipes are aged across the city, and it's our responsibility that no matter what the community is, as you can see today, we go in, we upgrade, we replace where we can with the necessary support, because we are a growing city. We're welcoming more and more residents, and so it's important for us to keep up with our age of our pipes and also the people who are coming to call Cape Town home as well.
Councillor, thank you very much for your time this morning. Of course, Councillor Zahid Badroodien, Mayoral Member for Water and Sanitation in the city of Cape Town, on the upgrades happening, or rather valve replacements across various communities in Cape Town. Of course, a 3-day water shutdown, but listening to the city saying that provision has been made for those affected communities to access water from the various water tankers in the areas affected here in Cape Town.